Welcome ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to take a look at the Dragonknight Tank build. I do have a written guide on my website, link in the description below. I show like buffed stats, unbuffed stats with screenshots. I also have some other gear that you can use, so this here is just one possible setup, keep that in mind. I also do have a Blackrose section, so you can see what you should wear for that. We will also go into that in the video a little bit, so you kinda can understand what your job is in Blackrose Prison. That being said, let's jump into it. So when we look at it, not a lot actually changed, okay? Like compared to the previous versions, it's still more or less the same. Dragonknights are still freaking strong. Now just to quickly talk about some of the changes that happened that impact the build a little bit. So Elder Dragon increases range of your instant melee attacks by 2 meters. So kind of a small buff, but that means stuff like Heroic Slash, Pierce Armor, Light Attacks, Bash. You can basically hit from further away now, which is pretty cool. It's a very small advantage in my opinion, but it's something. Other than that, there is not really, I mean there's World in Ruin, so like your stamina poison abilities cost 25% less, but we're not really using any as a tank, so but just it's there if you like want to use some stem abilities. Just keep that in mind. Those here are all the unbuffed stats. We're using the Lord Mundus Stone, like always, Tri-stat buff food, Tri-stat potions, Race, Argonian, in my opinion, still the best because of the resourceful passive. So when we quickly check, Imperial, Nord, Orc, they also work, don't get me wrong. It's just the resourceful passive is so nice. So when I activate the potion now, watch my stats. It basically goes from 30 to 90% with one click. So it's really easy to manage your resources. With this class, you also get 9% health, which is also nice. Please make sure to not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. Gear-wise, in dungeon trials, not a lot changed. Ebon Armor is always really good to go to, simply because it buffs the health of the whole group. Lord Warden, same thing. Really nice just to boost the resistances of your group, so they take less damage. Now, Ebon Armor should be in every group. Lord Warden, like it's optional, you could use something else. So there is a few good monster sets for tanks. And then we also have Alcast, which is really nice. So when you activate the synergy, you debuff the enemy, so he takes more damage. So it's like 3k resistance that goes away, which is really cool. So your damage dealers will do more damage. Again, you can also use other things like powerful assault and so on. This is just one option. When we look at enchants and traits, so I have infused Tri-stat on those pieces, and then here reinforced Tri-stat. Small pieces, sturdy health, all of them. Make sure to have 5 heavy, 1 light, 1 medium setup because of Undaunted here. Gives you 6% resources. When we look at the jewelry, all infused, 2 with shield play enchants, 1 with alchemical acceleration. You can also use a magic recovery glyph, for example. It doesn't really matter that much, but you have options. But usually with 2 shield play enchants, you should be good to go. Infused Tri-stat on both bars here. Then we have infused Crusher enchant and infused weakening. Crusher, again, it debuffs the enemy, so damage dealers do more damage. Weakening debuffs the enemy as well, so the boss deals less damage. Quite a huge chunk. It's like, I'm not sure, 15 to 25% less damage from the boss is quite a lot. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's quite a huge chunk. Champion points, they're on my website. We'll just quickly jump through them. The red CP are the most important, okay? And I do have an article on my website which shows you the optimal red champion points for each trial. So you can really mitigate a lot of damage if you set them up. But each trial has kind of a different, like sometimes there is more physical damage, sometimes there is more direct damage. So you kind of need to change this a little bit. But it's all on my site. You will find this under the trial section. Now when we look At the abilities, it's a pretty basic setup still. Green Dragon Blood, Absorb Magic, Pierce Armor, Igneous Shield, Choking Talents, Magma Shell, Blood Altar, Heroic Slash, Inner Rage, Chains, and Balance with Horn. This here is your self heal. If you drop low, this will heal for quite a lot, and it also can crit, so it's kind of like a fail-safe heal. Absorb Magic. It is cool because, like, while you have it slotted, the amount of damage you can block is increased by 8% and the cost of blocking is reduced by 8%. However, you don't necessarily need this. It is kind of your flex spot. So you could slot other stuff here. So if you want some other stuff, like from the Suchik, you could slot Deep Thoughts, or if you're in dungeons, Time Stop to stun all the mobs and so on. There's a lot of good options. Pierce Armor is your taunt, also debuffs the enemy. Igneous Shield. So before you use Green Dragon Blood, you want to make sure to use this, because it gives you major mending, so the heal will get bigger here. On top of that now, you see, we get the 7k shield. Not that big, but shields now have resistances. Previously they did not have, so the shield will last longer than before. That's really nice. Choking Talents, really nice crowd control tool. Also debuffs them with minor maim, so they do less damage. This here is your God mode armor, or like ultimate. You press the button, you will not die for 10 seconds. Blood Altar. Now, this is a very useful skill, not just a rubble meme. This heals for a lot. Well, I mean, it heals for like a small amount every second, right? But the synergy that you can activate is really good. So you want to make sure to have that in your group. Heroic Slash, again, debuffs the enemy and gives you also minor heroism, so you get faster ultimate generation. Inner Rage is your ranged taunt. Unrelenting Grip, you can chain enemies. And the cool thing about this here is if the enemy cannot be chained, you get all the magicka back. That's pretty cool. So, like, you can keep using this. Another thing is, even if you cannot chain the enemy, you still get the speed buff for 4 seconds. Balance. So the reason why we're not using Hardened Ward or Volatile Armor, whatever you like to call it, is because we're on Balance. Balance gives us Major Ward and Major Resolve, buffing our resistances. They're pretty cool. If you're fully buffed, we have about 33k on each, a little bit more. But just keep in mind 33k is the hard cap. Just keep in mind when you use this, like the exchange reduces your healing down and damage shield strength by 50%. External heals, so from a healer, still heal for the full amount, but when you use this, then you use a heal, it will be cut in half. Same thing with the shields. You use this, use Igneous, it's only 3.5k. 4 seconds. After 4 seconds, when you activate it, it goes back to 7k. But this is a really good way to manage your magicka, like if you need to chain a lot of mobs. You can just keep weaving that stuff, right? Or if you have like a small break, just keep spamming Balance to get the magicka back. Aggressive Horn, still one of the best ultimates to boost the damage of your group. They remove minor toughness here, keep that in mind. That's more or less about the normal setup. Like always, everything is on the side. Now let's quickly talk about the Blackrose setup. Before we start, the main job in Blackrose Prison as a tank is chain in all the mobs and keep taunt on the big mobs. So there is a lot of trash, like of ad waves in Blackrose Prison, so like there is a lot of small mobs, so you really want to make sure to chain them all into the middle so your damage dealers can do AoE damage to them. Very important. On top of that, there is quite big mobs. You really need to make sure to taunt them as fast as possible, because if they, like, most of their abilities one-shot the healer or damage dealers. They do so much damage. On top of that, most bosses or bigger mobs apply some sort of defile debuff on you. So your healer sometimes really has to make sure to focus you. It's kind of annoying, but it's just how it is. Now, what kind of gear are we running? So again, Eben, you want this. Now, Mighty Chudan. This here is a really good set. It's basically a full 5-piece set at this point. I mean, look, this has 2, 3, 4, 5 piece. This also has 2, 3, 4, 5 piece. But it's a monster set. You get a lot of resistance, you get health, and then you gain Major War and Major Resolve. Why is that important? Because before we use Balance. Yeah, we use Spell Sim now. Again, if Spell Sim is nice in there, because it gives you cost reduction on the next magic ability. Chains 3.5k. Now if I use Spell Sim, it goes down to 2.5k, which means again, you can chain more people. So you spend less time buffing yourself, you spend more time chaining in all the people, taunting the enemies, debuffing them, and so on. The second set, Battalion Defender. So why not Alcast? Alcast, we did not find it that super useful, at least not when you're new to the arena, because there's a lot of movement going on, a lot of different mobs, and there's not enough synergies. You're only 4 people in the group. So it's really hard to actually keep up the Alcast buff. So we decided to invest a little bit more into penetration and just get rid of Alcast that way. And then another set, so this is one option. You can also use like Powerful Assault, you can use War Machine to buff your group mates and so on. Battalion Defender, it drops from the rewards of the Worthy. Now after successfully blocking, heal yourself or a group member within 15 meters of you for 2.4k. When you are using other stuff like this, it goes up to 3k. If you have Major Vitality as well, it goes even higher up, okay? So every 1 second it's like 3k heals going out to somebody, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really makes a difference, trust me. Again, 2 shield play enchants, and now I have a magic recovery enchant simply because it's nice to have around 1k, just to again increase the magic a little bit so you can chain more. Other than that, nothing really changed, like in terms of enchants and so on. It's all on my website. That's the idea behind. Again, you can use other monster sets if you like feel like you have enough time to chain in stuff. You can change it out. This is just one option you have. That's what we found. So once again, you need to chain a lot in the arena. So the Spell Sim chain combo is really nice. Taunt all the big mobs, very important, because they one-shot healers and DDs. And some of the mobs hit really hard. So if you drop block for a second, you're dead. That's why I also really like Argonian, because it's so easy to manage your resources with Resourceful, like I showed you previously, and pots here. Yeah, I think other than that there is not really anything. I do have a full Blackrose Prison guide on my website. You can go check it out if you want. I also explain the job of a tank in there again, and I like showcase all the different stages with pictures and so on, explain everything. That's it. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below or join our community Discord. Link is also in the description. If you have any questions, you can always ask in the Discord and somebody will answer you or give you an answer. It's really, really nice, so I recommend joining. That's it. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the juicy like button. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Cheers.